Manish,
So
we are seeing a lot of problems. People are queuing up at banks. A number of deaths have occurred, which are said to be linked with these steps,
yeah.
demonetization steps. So, do you think that it all occurred because it was not being properly implemented the way you had suggested it in your project?
You are absolutely right.
Huh.
This is a very, I say very poor implementation of this project, because first of all, this has caused a lot of, this has put a lot of, this has inflicted a lot of pain to the people, and this has caused a great loss, even the loss of their lives due to this kind of implementation. And apart from that, this is not going to give us any benefit. The demonetization done in this way is not going to give us profit, it's not going to give us benefit, rather it is going to incur a big loss. I tell you why. Reason is that there is no any money tracking system, there is no system, there is no technology which can track the movement. There is no transparency at all. So we don't know what is the movement of money. In this dark situation, anybody can manipulate the flow of money. Right. For example, you must have seen that people are getting a big lot of new currencies in the amount of 2,000 crore, sorry, 2 crore, 3 crores, etc. So if people are getting such a big amount, it means that money laundering is taking place very fast. Let me tell you that this money laundering is taking very fast. The reason is that our system was corrupt, very much corrupt. And we must have developed such kind of system which could have a surveillance over the flow of money. If we had the money tracking system in place, all this money laundering could not have taken place, because we could have accounting of this movement of each penny. Means each currency's movement was in our eyes. And that is the reason, if the money tracking system was invented earlier and then demonetization had been taking place, let me tell you that money laundering would have not taken place. So that's why I will say this is the answer of question. This is very poor implementation. First the transparency, then demonetization would have taken place. I think this would have given a lot of relief to the people. People would have not stand in the queue, and this would have given the actual result of demonetization. Let me tell you that demonetization is a process through which we can make a big impact on any economy if it is done in proper way, in the transparent way. But if it is not in transparent way, believe me, this can destroy an economy, right? So this, done in this way, the demonetization done in this way, this is going to incur a big loss on this economy. So instead of giving it, profit, it's going to give us a loss. So in other words, I can say our Prime Minister is actually destroying the image of demonetization done in this way. Later in future, if any Prime Minister want to do the demonetization, public will, not allowed to do all those things. But let me tell you, demonetization is a very fantastic step. It is done, if it is done in the transparent way, with the help of technological implementation. So please do not take the demonetization as a wrong way, because this can be a conspiracy to destroy the image of demonetization.
What could be the other serious consequences despite slowdown in economy as claimed by many economists? What do you see if it's continued the way it is going? What could be the other consequences?
Other consequences, maybe the money laundering is taking very fast. So there are a lot of people, like there are two kind of people. One kind of people who are being caught in doing the money laundering. Other kind of people who are not getting caught in doing the money laundering. So the people who are not getting caught in doing money laundering, their black money is completely white money, because now if I've got the 2000s new currency of 2000 rupees, all 2000 rupees currencies note, it means that that is white money, because I can use that, right? So if I have got thousands and crores of rupees, but with the new monies, new currencies, with help of money laundering, so that is a good money for them. But for those who could not do the money laundering, and rest of the public as well, who was not having any kind of black money, these people will be actually the victim of this kind of process. So few people will have a lot of money, and most of the people will not have any money with them. So there will be the polarization of wealth. Means some people will, very few people will have a lot of money, 99% of money.
The wedge will widen between the richers and the poor.
So this is going to widen the rift between poor and rich. Right?
So what's the way out? What is the way out to tackle the situation?
Still, I would say, though it is late, but still I would recommend that money tracking system and the facilitation of certain infrastructure like facilitation of EDIs, electronic data interchange, that is, people will say the swiping machine, has to be facilitated on each transaction points. And there is a revenue model for that. The revenue model can be done in this way that Indian government can attract a lot of investment from the global investors. These investors have got a lot of can invest a very heavy amount in facilitating the swiping machine on each transaction points, and these companies can recover the expenses incurred in this installation of these EDIs over a period of time. So facilitation of this kind of infrastructure done in this way is not going to give a big load on neither on the customers nor on the companies and nor on the governments. But this can be implemented in a very short spot of time, maybe even 1 year. Can be done even in a year. So these kind of things, if done by the government, again we can filter out the money again, right?
So finally, what would you like to say to the common people, to the Prime Minister, to the opposition, over all these entire episodes we have seen since November 8?
Yeah.
What would be your message?
Yeah, my message is that probably our Prime Minister did not get the project in right way. What I believe, our Prime Minister is very busy person. It must have gone through the certain secretaries. So they must have done certain kind of manipulation, because our bureaucrats never want to eliminate the corruption from our nation, because they are the beneficiary of this corruption, because they are the people who do the corruption, who take the bribery and who grow rich. So don't go by them. It is my message to Prime Minister and the rest of our citizens that please have a look on the phase 1 and facilitate that technologies and infrastructure which is mentioned in that phase 1, right? And when they work on this path, I think most of the problems would be solved, because the economy and the flow of movement, flow of money would be there. So later what I want to say, that when the money tracking system is developed, the flow of money has to be correlated with the flow of product and services, right? So we know the reason behind all transactions. So flow of money is correlated with flow of product and services, and most important effect after this will be all the transactions, all the data related to this transaction will have to be integrated to a software which would contain certain kind of arithmetical and economical formulas which will detect the legitimacy of the transaction, right? So software will detect the flow, that transaction is good or bad on the basis of certain formulas. So this software will keep on informing us whether software is good, transaction is good or bad. Again, this all data will be provided online, and this will be visible to the public, right? So in this way, system will go 100% transparent. So please ask our Prime Minister to work on this. So this is the only recommendation, that they should work on this part. If they work on this part, actually this is going to make our nation the greatest nation. You know, the India could have not developed in 70 years that kind of development we can see in next forthcoming 5 years. So this is such a potential, such ambitious project. So please ask Prime Minister, please press our Prime Minister to think in this direction. And if they want, they can conduct a public discussion on this issue. And you know, if they want me to include, I am ready to do that.
Manish, you are an innovator. Do you have any other projects in times to come? Do you have any other ideas to implement? to work upon?
Right, there are a lot of projects and plans and software technology there in my mind, but main issue is that the implementation, right? It takes a lot of pain in working on certain kind of project. It takes 2 to 3 years in developing a very, very good project. But important thing is that to bring that on the ground level, what is necessary, what is challenging point in that the authorities should meet me. I mean, say I should be there. There is a lot of communication gap. If I want to meet Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. President, or any concerned authorities, or any head of nation or UNO, United Nations of organization, it is very difficult for me to approach them. So that's why, despite having a lot of projects, plans, believe me, there are a lot of youth, a lot of youngsters in our nation who has got brilliant ideas, but they are not putting that forth because they are not able to meet to the concerned person, right?
Thank you very much, Manish ji, for talking with us and providing valuable information to our audience. I hope that they will actually come to know about your project, and it would be clear to them that your project was not properly implemented, that eventually led them face such hardships. Thank you all of us.
And before that, I want to give my contact information. My contact number is 7838420507, and another contact number is 9582320170. My email ID is manishuk.kaushik7@gmail.com. You can search this gmail.com on Facebook, and you can contact me for any further queries, because this is very, very important issue. Please do not sit idle. Please don't keep your hands on hand, and please take some action, because this is the only point when we can tackle the situation. After that, we will be in situation where we will be finding ourselves in an economic slavery situation. We will be working hard, and the fruit of our hard work will be reaped by somebody else. So do you want to work as a workforce and some other person will take advantage of that your work? Do you want to see this kind of situation? Obviously not. So that's why please raise your hands and raise your voice against this. That's the only thing I want to say. Thank you very much.